So, hallo und herzlich willkommen alle zusammen. Hier ist TP Gaming. Ich habe ein weiteres Video für euch, heute in Deutsch mal wieder. Regelmäßig jeden Freitag kommt eins für euch hinaus. Wo sind wir denn heute? Könnt ihr es sehen? Naja, ihr habt das wahrscheinlich in der Überschrift gesehen, aber wir sind in Haneda, Tokio Haneda, vor Ort von Tokio auf einer kleinen Insel mit zwei Bergen. Nein, keine Berge hier. Gibt es hier leider nicht. Aber ja, wir werden natürlich unheimlich viel Japan Airlines und All Nippon Airways haben, aber auch ganz viele Fluggesellschaften, die eigentlich recht ungewöhnlich hier sind. Ja, wir gucken uns das ganze Layout mal an. Lichter brauchen wir nicht anmachen. Wir haben heute mal 20 Uhr ausgewählt. Und ja, gucken uns das Ganze mal an. Wir werden so ab 8 Uhr bis 9 Uhr, aber ich glaube, so lange werden wir es nicht machen, haben wir so um die 80 Bewegungen. Ich hoffe, dass es nicht zu chaotisch wird. Und für alle die jetzt vor 2 Tagen die Premiere gesehen haben, von den neuen Modifizierungen, die ich da habe. Also einer, der sich diese Videos auch ganz gerne mal anschaut, hat das gesehen und hat computertechnisch da einige Modifizierungen rangenommen. Und das hat er mega gemacht, also richtig klasse. Was ihr hier schon seht, was nicht normal ist, ist hier die Schriftzüge, dass das jetzt in Rot ist und Grün. Das heißt also, alle Flugzeuge, die sich dann nachher auf dem Boden bewegen werden oder die ihr seht und grün sind, sind die, die angekommen sind, und die in Rot sind die, die auf dem Weg zum Abflug sind. Also das ist schon mal was ganz, ganz Interessantes. Dann gibt es den Unterschied eben halt, hier seht ihr ja den Flugzeugtyp. Und bei den Schrägstrich-Hs, das sind sogenannte Heavies, eben halt die größeren Flugzeuge, da ist es so, dass ich dieses Heavy tatsächlich jetzt auch aussprechen muss in den Kommandos. Und da habe ich mich ja am Mittwoch schon sehr, sehr schwer getan in Dubai. Ich hoffe, es wird mir heute ein bisschen besser gelingen. Ich habe mir das ein bisschen anders jetzt aufgebaut, weil diesen Bildschirm, den ihr hier seht, den sehe ich so nicht. Also ich sehe den zwar natürlich, aber ich benutze ihn nicht. Ich habe das Ganze noch auf mehrere andere Monitore verteilt, damit ich diesen Bereich sehr viel größer erkennen kann. In diesem rechten Bereich sehe ich zum Beispiel momentan eigentlich, naja, so diesen Kreis. Also wir gehen ja hier immer von 5 Meilenringe aus, also 5, 15, 15 und 20, mit dem Unterschied, dass es jetzt sich nicht hier um normale Meilen, also eine Meile 1,6 Kilometer, sondern das sind nautische Meilen. Und nautische Meilen ist eine Meile tatsächlich etwas höher. Das heißt, 5 Meilen sind nicht 8 Kilometer, sondern es sind 9. Also haben wir 9, 18, 27, 36 Kilometer ist der äußere Kreis hier, also 20 nautische Meilen, 36 Kilometer. Aber ich sehe nur ungefähr so, naja, so ungefähr 8 Meilen. Und innerhalb der 5 Meilen, der 9 Kilometer, da kriegen die dann von mir auch die Flugzeuge, wie in diesem Fall China Southern, bekommt dann auch erst die Landefreigabe. Das heißt, viele, viele Dinge, oder nicht viele, viele Dinge, aber einige Dinge haben sich geändert. Und was auch richtig klasse und toll ist, wir haben sehr viel mehr verschiedensprachige Piloten, die dann mit mir sprechen werden. Die kommen dann aus Australien, aus Kanada, aus England, aus Amerika, aus Indien. Also da werdet ihr schon verschiedene Akzente dann hören. Also alles in allem gab es einige Veränderungen, und das wird in Zukunft wird's noch mehr und mehr und mehr geben. Also ich hoffe, es wird euch gefallen. Also denke ich mal, werden wir mal die Scheinwerfer einschalten, Kamera einschalten, die Pause loslegen und sehen, dass unsere erste Maschine Japan Airlines jetzt zurückgedrückt wird, und wir werden jetzt Japan Airlines auch zurückdrücken. Wir haben unsere 4 Start- und Landebahnen. Das ist einmal hier die 34 links und 34 rechts. Diese benutze ich heute für Landungen. Seht ihr hier auch unten schon, kommen schon die ersten rein. Und wir haben Nummer 04 und 05. Ich werde 05 für Abflüge benutzen. Ich werde vielleicht 34 links benutzen und rechts benutzen. Rechts wohl eher nicht, aber 34 links benutze ich. 04 vielleicht für den einen oder anderen. Das meiste wird aber über 05 laufen. Und ja, gucken wir uns das Ganze mal an. Ich hoffe, es wird euch gefallen. Japan Air Continue Taxi. Ah, da geht das schon los. Siehst du, ist eine Heavy, also schon wieder vergessen. Japan Air Heavy Continue Taxi.
Ground. All Nippon 669er Heavy request pushback.
Continue taxi. Japan Air Heavy.
Ich muss also jetzt hier immer drauf achten, ob hier Schrägstrich H ist,
Japan Air 655 Heavy request pushback.
um dann die richtigen Kommandos dann auch zu geben.
421 Heavy with you runway 34 right.
Japan Air 615 pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Alpha Yankee Sierra.
Ground 05 via Alpha Yankee Sierra pushback approved. Japan Air 615.
Also da erkennt ihr schon, das Ganze füllt sich schon ganz schön auf hier. Ich werde das noch ein klein, nee, das wollte ich eigentlich nicht. Ich wollte das so lassen. Ich wollte das vielleicht etwas kleiner machen. Das ist, ich weiß nicht, ob das für euch noch erkennbar ist. Das Problem ist, es überlappt sich der ganze Kram. Das macht das Ganze natürlich ein bisschen ärgerlich. Ja, ist ein bisschen blöd. Das Rot im Dunkeln gefällt mir eigentlich nicht so gut.
Ground Japan Air 615 request taxi.
All Nippon 669er Heavy Pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Ground. 05 via Yankee Sierra pushback approved. All Nippon 669er Heavy.
Japan Air 615 Heavy. Continue taxi.
Ground. Air China 168
See, das ist gar keine
request
Heavy.
pushback.
Japan Air 615. Continue taxi. Immer das gleiche. All Nippon 569er Heavy Pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Alpha Yankee Sierra.
Unable to comply. Japan Air 615.
Ja, wird gleich
Continue
bestraft.
taxi. Japan Air 615.
Ground 05 by Alpha Yankee Sierra pushback approved. All Nippon 569er Heavy.
Air China 168 Heavy Pushback approved. Expect runway 04 via Papa.
Ground Lima Mike Golf 1 request pushback.
Unable takeoff. Runway is too short. Air China 168 Heavy.
Wäre ja auch zu schön, um wahr zu sein.
New Sky 21 request pushback.
Japan Air 655 Heavy Pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Ground 05 via Yankee Sierra pushback approved. Japan Air 655 Heavy.
Ground. All Nippon 669er Heavy request taxi.
Ground All Nippon 569er Heavy request taxi.
China Southern 3085 runway 34 left, clear to land. Wind is 104 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 left cleared to land, wind is 104 at 1 knots. China Southern 3085.
Air China 168 Heavy Pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left via Papa Lima 2 Alpha 2 Alpha.
Ground. Tree 4 left via Papa Lima 2 Alpha pushback approved. Air China 168 Heavy.
New Sky 21 pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left via Whiskey Alpha 1.
Ground 34 left via Whiskey Alpha 1 pushback approved. New Sky 21.
Lima Mike Golf 1 pushback approved. Expect runway 04 via Tango 1.
Tower. All Nippon
Könnt ihr gar nicht
860 Heavy
sehen,
with you
ne?
runway tree
Da
4 left.
oben hat sich noch einer
Ground
versteckt.
04 via Tango 1 pushback approved. Lima Mike Golf 1.
Japan Air 655 Heavy, continue taxi.
Ground Japan Air 655 Heavy request taxi.
All Nippon 669er Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Japan Air 655
All Nippon
Heavy.
569er Heavy, continue taxi. Air China 421 runway Air China 421 Heavy, runway 34 right, clear to land. Wind is 104 at 1 knots.
Continue taxi. All Nippon 669er Heavy.
Continue
wo sind wir
taxi.
denn?
All Nippon 569er heavy.
Bewegen sich alle? Ja, ne, müsste eigentlich ganz gut sein. Ja, Japan Air 333, Runway 05, Lineup in Weight 1 is 104 at 1 knots. Ich werde auch versuchen,
Unable to comply. Air China 421 heavy. Runway 34 right cleared to land, wind is 104 at 1 knots. Air China 421 heavy.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 104 at 1 knots. Japan Air 333 heavy.
wie ihr ja hört, dieses Tri für die 3, ne, not 3, Tri. Ich versuche das mal auch immer in die Gange zu kriegen. Blue Sky 21, continue taxi.
Ground, Air China 168 heavy request taxi.
Air China 168 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. New Sky 21.
Lima Mike Golf 1, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Air China 168
China
heavy.
Southern 3085 heavy. Jetzt mal sehen, er wird wahrscheinlich jetzt rechts abbiegen. Genau, da habe ich den
Say
Fehler
again.
gemacht.
China Southern 3085.
Den hätte ich einen anderen Befehl geben sollen sollte. Okay. Japan Air 333 Heavy, Runway 05. Es geht da ja sowieso ran, das hatte ich jetzt schon bereits gesagt. Okay, wir kriegen das hin. China Southern 3085 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha 10 Lima Mike Papa. Nix. China Southern 3085 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha Papa. China Southern 3085 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha Bravo Papa. Oh, kriegt er gar nichts mit. Was ist hier los? Japan Air 333 Heavy, Runway 05, cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 615, Runway
05 cleared for takeoff.
Japan Air 615, Runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Unable to comply. Japan Air 615.
China Southern 3085, taxi to terminal via Alpha Bravo Papa.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 103 at 1 knots. Japan Air 615.
Lima Mike Golf 1, runway 04, line up and wait, wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha Bravo Papa, China Southern 3085.
At China 421 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Charlie Kilo.
Runway 04 line up and wait, wind is 103 at 1 knots. Lima Mike Golf 1. Taxi to terminal via Charlie Kilo. Air China 421 heavy.
All Nippon 860 Heavy, runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Tower, All Nippon 570 with you, runway 34 right. Runway 34 left cleared to land, wind is 102 at 1 knots. All Nippon 860 heavy.
Air China 421 Heavy. Okay.
Ground.
He's got his
Japan
orders.
Air 529er heavy, request pushback.
Japan Air 615, runway 05, cleared for takeoff.
Say again. Air China 421 heavy.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 615.
Japan Air 655 Heavy, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 103 at 1 knots. Okay, nimmt
Runway
2,
05 line up and wait, wind
muss
is
das
103
Tree
at 1
wohl ein
knots.
bisschen
Japan Air
vernünftiger sagen.
655 heavy.
461 Quebec Sierra, runway 34 right. 461 Quebec Sierra. November 461 Quebec Sierra, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 right cleared to land, wind is 10 at 281 knots.
Ja, das
November 461
versteht er noch nicht so
Quebec
ganz. Also bei dem Landen, da funktioniert das wohl noch nicht so vernünftig. Blue Sky 21, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Ground. Japan Air 139er heavy, request pushback.
Air China 168, continue taxi.
Runway 34
Air
left,
China
line up and wait,
168
wind is
heavy,
103
continue
at 1
taxi.
knots. New Sky 21.
Say again, Air China 168 heavy.
Japan Air 333, contact departure.
Continue taxi.
Japan
Air
Air
China
615 heavy contact departure. Japan Air 333 heavy contact departure. So, haben wir es richtig. Japan Air 615 contact departure. Japan Air 655 heavy runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure. Good evening. Japan Air 333 Heavy.
New Sky 28 runway 34 left cleared to land. No, we don't want that.
Contact departure. Good evening. Japan Air 615.
New Sky 21 runway 34 left cleared for takeoff.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 655 heavy. Runway 34 left cleared for takeoff. New Sky 21.
Starflyer 28 runway 34 left cleared to land. Wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Ground. All Nippon 273 heavy request pushback.
All Nippon 570 heavy. No.
Runway 34
All
left,
Nippon
clear to land,
570
wind is 103 at 1
runway
knots. Starflyer
34
28.
right clear to land. Wind is 103 at 1 knots. All Nippon 669 heavy runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Say again. All Nippon 570.
All Nippon 860 heavy taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Unable to comply. All Nippon 570.
Runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 103 at 1 knots. All Nippon 669er heavy.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. All Nippon 860 heavy.
Ground. Japan
All
Air
Nippon
925 heavy request pushback.
570 runway 34 right clear to land. Wind is 103 at 1 knots.
Tower. Alpha Wing 286 with you runway 34 right.
Japan Air 655 heavy cleared.
Runway 34 right clear.
Japan Air
Wind is
655
103 at 1
heavy.
knots. All Nippon 570.
Contact departure.
Say again. Japan Air 655 heavy.
New Sky 21 contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Japan Air 655 heavy.
Lima Mike Golf 1 runway 04 cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure. Good evening. New Sky 21. Runway 04 cleared for takeoff. Lima
China
Mike
Southern
Golf
heavy.
1.
China Southern 3085 heavy. No.
Ground.
China
Boeing
Southern
710 heavy
3085
request pushback.
continue taxi. Air China 421 hold short of taxiway Delta.
Say again.
Air China
Southern
421 heavy hold
3085.
short of taxiway Delta.
Continue taxi. China Southern 3085.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha, Air China 421 heavy. Hold short of taxiway Delta, Air China 421 heavy.
November 461 Quebec Sierra taxi to terminal via Charlie Kilo.
Taxi to terminal via Charlie Kilo. November 461 Quebec Sierra.
Air China 421 heavy. Okay. 758 heavy. All Nippon 758 heavy runway 34 left clear to land. Wind is 102 at 1 knots. All Nippon 669 runway 05 heavy. No. All Nippon 669 heavy runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Starflyer 28 taxi to terminal.
Runway 34 left cleared to land. Wind is 102 at 1 knots. All Nippon 758 heavy.
Unable to comply. All Nippon 669er heavy.
Japan 139 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
All Nippon
All
273
669er heavy.
pushback approved. Oh, that's
Taxi to
heavy as
terminal.
well.
Starflyer
All Nippon
28.
273 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Alpha Yankee Sierra.
Ground, tree 4 left pushback approved.
Lima
Japan
Mike
Air
Golf 1
139er heavy.
contact departure.
Say again. All Nippon 273 heavy. Ground. 05 via Alpha Yankee
All
Sierra
Nippon
pushback
570
approved. All
heavy.
Nippon 273
Taxi
heavy.
to terminal via Echo 9 Echo.
Contact departure. Good evening. Lima Mike Golf 1.
Japan Air 925 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Echo Sierra.
Unable to comply. All Nippon 570.
All Nippon 569 heavy runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 102 at 1 knots.
Ground. 05 by Echo Sierra pushback approved. Japan Air 925 heavy.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 102 at 1 knots, all Nippon 569er heavy.
Tower, all Nippon 76.
Air China 168, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 102 at 1 knots. Air China 168 heavy, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 102 at 1 knots.
Ground, all Nippon 271 heavy, request pushback.
All Nippon 669er heavy, contact departure.
Unable to comply. Air China 168 heavy.
All Nippon 570, taxi to terminal via Echo 9er Echo.
Runway 34 left line up and wait, wind is 102 at 1 knots. Air China 168 heavy.
Contact departure. Good evening.
All Nippon
669 heavy.
273 heavy, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 9er Echo. All Nippon 570.
Continue taxi, all Nippon 273 heavy. Ground, all Nippon 273 heavy, request taxi.
All Nippon 860 heavy, hold short of taxiway Alpha 1.
Ground, Japan Air 139er heavy, request taxi.
Hold short of taxiway Alpha 1. All Nippon 860 heavy.
Ground, Japan Air 905 heavy, request pushback.
Ground, Japan Air 925
Alpha
heavy,
wing
request taxi.
268, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 102 at 1 knots.
Ground,
Alpha
Japan
wing
Air 443, request
286,
pushback.
runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 102 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 right.
Japan Air
clear to land, wind is
925,
102
heavy,
at 1
continue
knots.
taxi.
Alpha wing 286.
Continue taxi. Japan Air 925 heavy.
Japan Air 529er, pushback heavy.
Tower, all Nippon 266 heavy.
Japan Air
runway 34 right.
529er heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee. All Nippon 271 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee.
Ground, 05 via Yankee.
Japan Air
pushback approved. Japan Air
139er,
529er
continue
heavy.
taxi.
Ground,
Japan Air
05 by
139er
Yankee,
heavy,
pushback
continue
approved.
taxi.
All Nippon 271 heavy.
Say again, Japan Air 139er heavy.
All Nippon 758 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 139er heavy.
Japan Air 905 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, all Nippon 758 heavy.
Ground, 05 via Yankee Sierra, pushback approved. Japan Air 905
Air China
heavy.
168, runway... No.
Tower, all
Air
Nippon
China
288
168 heavy,
runway
runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 569er heavy, runway 05, cleared for takeoff.
Unable to comply. Air China 168 heavy. Runway 34 left cleared for takeoff. Air China 168 heavy.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff, all Nippon 569er heavy.
Ja, momentan, ich bin echt da noch ein bisschen am Probleme haben mit diesen Heavy-Geschichten. Japan Air 44, warte mal, das war hier hin. Japan Air 443, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Echo Sierra.
Ground, 05 via Echo Sierra, pushback approved. Japan Air 443.
All Nippon 76, All Nippon 76 heavy, runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 102 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 left clear to land, wind is 102 at 1 knots. All Nippon 76 heavy.
Korean Air 710 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 34 left.
Ground, Japan Air 529er heavy, request taxi.
Ground, 34 left pushback approved.
November 461
Boeing Air
Quebec
710
Sierra, hold short of taxiway Charlie.
Ground, Japan Air 905 heavy, request taxi.
Alpha Wing 286, taxi to terminal via Echo 9er Echo.
Hold short of taxiway Charlie, November 461 Quebec Sierra.
All Nippon 569er heavy, contact departure.
Taxi to terminal via
Air China
Echo 9 Echo, Alpha wing
168, contact
286.
heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good evening, all Nippon 569er heavy.
Contact departure. Good evening. Air China 168
All
heavy.
Nippon 266 heavy, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Tower, Quebec, Echo 315.
Japan Air
runway
443
left.
heavy, continue taxi. Nope.
Runway
Japan Air
34 right, clear to land, wind is
443,
101
continue
at 1
taxi.
knots. All Nippon 266 heavy.
All Nippon 271 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi.
Japan Air
Japan Air
529er
443.
heavy, continue taxi. Japan Air 905 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 443.
Continue taxi, all Nippon 271 heavy.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 529er Heavy.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 905 Heavy.
Japan Air 139er Heavy. Japan Air 139er Heavy, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 101 at
All
1
Nippon
knots.
8
Japan Air 139er Heavy.
60 Heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, Japan Air 443 request taxi.
All Nippon 687 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Echo Sierra.
Continue taxi, all Nippon 860 heavy.
Japan Air 925 Heavy, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Ground, 05 via Echo Sierra, pushback approved, all Nippon 687 Heavy.
All Nippon 38, runway 34 left, cleared, no.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is
All
101
Nippon
at 1
38
knots.
Heavy,
Japan Air 925 heavy.
runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 101 at 1 knots. Ihr seht schon, ich tue mich unheimlich schwer im Moment noch mit den Befehlen. Japan Air 139er Heavy, runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff.
Tower, all Nippon 870 Heavy with your runway 34 right.
All Nippon 76 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 139er Heavy.
All Nippon 599er Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, all Nippon 76 Heavy. Ground, 05
All
via
Nippon
Yankee
687
Sierra,
Heavy,
approved.
continue
All
taxi.
Nippon 599er Heavy.
Ground, all Nippon 271 heavy, request taxi.
Continue taxi.
Japan Air
all Nippon
925
687
Heavy, runway 05, cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 273 Heavy, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 925 heavy.
Runway 05
All Nippon
line up and
570,
wait, wind is 101
hold
at 1
position.
knots. All Nippon 273 Heavy.
Hold position, all Nippon 570.
Ground, all Nippon 599er Heavy, request pushback.
Ground, all Nippon 687 Heavy, request pushback.
Korean Air Heavy.
Ground,
Korean Air
all
710 Heavy, continue
request
taxi.
Continue taxi, Korean Air 710
Er
heavy.
lässt den da nicht durch.
All Nippon 298 with you runway 34 left.
All Nippon 271 Heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, all Nippon 687 Heavy.
Japan Air
request taxi.
241 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Continue taxi, all
Japan Air
Nippon
2,
271
pushback
heavy.
approved, expect runway. Japan Air 2 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Ground, 05
All
via
Nippon
Yankee Sierra, pushback
273,
approved.
runway
Japan Air
05,
241.
cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 273 Heavy, runway 05, cleared for takeoff. Wahnsinn.
Ground, 05 via Yankee Sierra, pushback approved. Japan Air 2 Heavy. Unable to comply, all Nippon 273 Heavy. Runway 05 cleared for takeoff, all Nippon 273 Heavy.
Ground, Japan Air 241 request pushback.
Ground,
Quebec,
Japan Air 2
Quebec,
Heavy,
Echo
request pushback.
315, runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 101 at 1 knots. All Nippon 870, runway 3, oh. All Nippon 870 Heavy, runway 34 right, cleared to land, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 left.
Japan Air
cleared to land, wind is
139er Heavy,
101 at
contact
1 knots.
departure.
Quebec, Quebec, Echo 315.
Japan Air 925 Heavy, contact departure.
Say again, all Nippon 870
Japan Air
Heavy.
443, runway, no.
Runway 34 right cleared to
Japan
land,
Air
wind is 101 at
443
1
Heavy.
knots. All Nippon
No,
870 Heavy.
normally. Japan Air 443, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening. Japan Air 139er Heavy.
All Nippon 298 Heavy, runway 34 left, clear to land, no.
Contact departure. Good
All
evening.
Nippon
Japan Air
298.
925 heavy.
Runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 101 at 1 knots.
Unable to comply.
All Nippon
Japan Air
38
443.
Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha. All Nippon 599 Heavy, continue taxi.
Say again, Japan Air 443.
Japan Air 529 Heavy, hold short of taxiway Sierra.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 101 at 1 knots. Japan Air
Japan Air 2
442.
Heavy, continue taxi.
Runway 34 left.
Japan
clear
Air
to land.
241 Heavy,
All Nippon
continue
298.
taxi.
Runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 101 at 1
All
knots.
Nippon
All
266
Nippon
Heavy, taxi to terminal via Juliet.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. All Nippon
All
28
Nippon
heavy.
273 contact heavy contact.
Continue taxi.
All Nippon
599
273 heavy contact departure. Japan Air 443 runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Unable to comply. Japan Air 529er Heavy.
Japan Air 905 heavy runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 2 Heavy.
All Nippon 599 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 241.
Taxi to terminal via Juliet. All Nippon 266 Heavy.
All Nippon 870 heavy, taxi to terminal via Echo 9 Echo.
Say again, all Nippon 273 Heavy. Contact departure. Good evening, all Nippon 273 Heavy.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 443.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots. Japan Air 905 Heavy.
Continue taxi. All Nippon 599er Heavy.
Quebec Echo 315 taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 9 Echo. All Nippon 870 Heavy. Taxi to terminal. Quebec Echo 315.
Japan Air 267 pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Ground, Japan Air 241 request taxi.
Ground.
Japan Air
055 Yankee
443
Sierra
heavy
pushback
contact
approved.
departure.
Japan Air 267.
Japan Air 905 heavy runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure.
All
Good
Nippon
evening,
271
Japan Air
heavy
443.
runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 905 Heavy.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at
Korean
1
Air
knots. All Nippon
710 heavy
271
continue taxi.
Ground, Japan Air 2 Heavy request taxi.
Continue taxi, Korean Air 710
Japan
heavy.
Air 465 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Ground. All Nippon 599er Heavy request taxi.
Ground. 05 via Yankee Sierra pushback approved.
All Nippon
Japan
298
Air
heavy
465
taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Tower, new sky 62 with you runway 34 left.
All Nippon 539 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. All Nippon 298.
Ground. 05 via Yankee Sierra pushback approved. All Nippon 539er.
Ground. Japan Air 267 request pushback.
Ground. Japan Air 465 heavy request pushback.
All Nippon 271 heavy runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Tower, L274 with you runway 34 right.
All Nippon 687 heavy runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 271 heavy.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100
Japan Air
at 1 knots.
465
All Nippon 687
heavy continue taxi.
Ground. All Nippon 539er request pushback.
Japan Air 905 heavy contact departure.
Continue taxi. Japan Air 465 heavy.
Contact departure. Good evening, Japan Air 905 Heavy.
Ground, Japan Air 19er request pushback.
Ground. Japan Air 267 request taxi.
Ground. Japan Air 465 heavy request taxi.
Tower. Japan Air 498 with you runway 34 left.
New Sky 62 runway 34 left clear to land, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Ground, Japan Air 151 request pushback. Runway 34 left cleared to land, wind is 100 at 1 knots. New sky 62.
Ground. Starflyer 3889 request
Japan
pushback.
Air 151 Japan Air 151 pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Echo Sierra.
Say again, Japan Air 151. Ground, 05 via Echo Sierra pushback approved.
All Nippon
Japan Air 151.
539 heavy continue taxi.
Continue taxi, all Nippon 539er.
All Nippon 271 heavy, contact departure.
Ground, all Nippon 539er request taxi.
Airdo 74, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Contact departure.
Airdo 74,
All Nippon 271 heavy.
runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Ground, Alpha Wing
All Nippon
457 request
687 heavy, runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 529er heavy, runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 right clear to land, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Japan Air
Airdo
267, continue taxi.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff, all Nippon 687 heavy.
Korean Air 710 heavy, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots, Japan Air 529er heavy.
Continue taxi.
Quebec,
Japan
Echo
Air
315, continue taxi.
Runway 34 left.
Japan Air
line up and wait,
151,
100 at 1 knots.
continue
Air
taxi.
710 heavy.
Continue taxi, Quebec, Echo 315.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 151.
Starflyer 3889 pushback approved, expect runway 34 left via Whiskey.
Tower, Skymark 22 with you, runway 34 right.
Starflyer 55, pushback approved, expect runway 34 left via Whiskey.
Ground. 34 left via whiskey pushback approved. Starflyer 3889.
Ground. 34 left via whiskey pushback approved. Starflyer
Japan Air
55.
529 heavy, runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Ground, Japan Air 151.
Japan
request
Air
taxi.
2 heavy, runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 100 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff, Japan Air 52.
Korean Air 710 heavy, we're going to
Runway
wait there for a
05
little while.
line up and
On
wait,
Nippon
wind is
687
100
heavy,
1
contact
knots.
departure.
Japan Air 2 heavy.
Ground. Starflyer 55 request pushback.
Japan Air 498, runway 34 left clear to land, wind is 909 at 1 knots.
Contact departure.
Korean
Good
Air
evening.
710 heavy,
687
runway
heavy.
34 left cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 left cleared to land, wind is 9er at 1 knots, Japan Air 498.
Starflyer 3889 continue taxi.
Runway 34 left.
Starflyer 55
Korean Air
pushback
710
approved,
heavy.
expect runway 34 left via Whiskey.
Continue taxi.
Japan Air
Starflyer
193,
3889.
pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra. Japan Air 2 heavy, runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Ground. 34 left via whiskey
Excuse
pushback
me.
approved. Starflyer 55.
Japan Air 241, runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 909 at 1 knots.
Ground, 05 by a Yankee Sierra pushback approved, Japan Air 19er tree.
Runway 05
Japan Air
cleared for takeoff.
671,
Japan Air 2 heavy.
pushback approved, expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra. New Sky 62 taxi to terminal via Whiskey.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 9er
Japan Air
at 1 knots,
529er.
Japan Air 241.
Heavy, contact departure.
Ground, 05 by Yankee Sierra pushback approved, Japan Air
Skymark
671.
22, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 909 at 1 knots.
Taxi to terminal via Whiskey.
Airdo
New Sky 62.
74, taxi to terminal via Charlie Whiskey.
Contact departure. Good evening, Japan Air 529er heavy.
Korean Air 710 heavy, contact departure.
Runway 34 right clear to land, wind is 9er at 1 knots. Skymark
Japan Air 241, runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Taxi to terminal via Charlie Whiskey.
All Nippon 599er, heavy, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 909 at 1 knots.
Contact departure.
Japan Air
Korean Air
193,
710 heavy.
heavy, continue taxi. Japan Air 671, continue taxi.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff, Japan Air 241.
Starflyer 55, continue taxi. Japan Air 2 heavy, contact departure.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 9er at 1 knots, all Nippon 599er heavy. Continue taxi, Japan Air 671.
Alpha Wing 457 pushback approved. Expect runway 34 right via Charlie.
Continue taxi, Starflyer 55.
Airdo 4737 pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left via Hotel Whiskey.
Contact departure.
Airdo 4737
Japan Air 2 Heavy.
heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left via Hotel Whiskey. All Nippon 599 heavy runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Skymark 116 runway 34 right cleared to land. Wind is 999 at 1 knots.
Ground, 34 right via Charlie pushback approved. Alpha Wing 457.
All Nippon 539 runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 999 at 1 knots.
Ground, 34 left via Hotel Whiskey pushback approved.
Japan Air
Airdo 4737
498
heavy.
taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 599er heavy.
Japan Air 241 contact departure.
Runway 34 right cleared to land. Wind is 9er at 1 knots. Skymark 116.
All Nippon 479 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Runway 05 line up and wait.
Japan
wind
at
is
335
999
pushback
All
approved.
Nippon 539er.
Japan at 335 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 34 right via Charlie.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha.
All Nippon
Japan Air 498.
321 heavy pushback approved. Expect no.
Contact
All
departure.
Nippon
Good evening.
321 pushback
Japan Air
approved.
241.
Expect runway 05 via Echo Sierra. Japan Air 193 continue taxi.
Ground, 05 via Yankee Sierra pushback approved. All Nippon 479er heavy.
All Nippon 599 heavy contact departure.
Ground,
All
34
Nippon
right via Charlie pushback
539
approved. Japan Air 335 heavy.
runway. All Nippon 539 runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 465 heavy runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 999 at 1 knots.
Ground, all Nippon 321 is on the ground. Ground, 05 via Echo Sierra pushback approved. All Nippon 321.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 193.
J Air 178 runway 34 left clear to land. Wind is 999 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening. All Nippon 599er heavy.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 539er.
Runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 999 at 1 knots. Japan Air 465 heavy.
Skymark 22 taxi to terminal via Echo 8.
Runway 34 left cleared to land. Wind is 9er at 1 knots. J Air 178.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 8, Skymark 22.
All Nippon 458 runway 34 left clear to land. Wind is 999 at 1 knots.
Tower, Skymark 116 with you.
All
Runway
Nippon
34 right.
321 heavy continue taxi.
Runway 34
All Nippon
left clear to
321
land. Wind is 999 at 1
continue
knots.
taxi.
All Nippon 458.
Continue taxi, all Nippon 321.
Ground, Starflyer 3889 request taxi.
Skymark 116 taxi to terminal.
Tower, J Air 178 with you. Runway 34 left.
All Nippon 539 contact departure.
Taxi to terminal.
Japan Air
Skymark
465
116.
heavy runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure.
Japan Air
Good evening.
267
All Nippon 539er.
runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 998 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan
All
Air
Nippon
465 heavy.
479 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05.
Runway 05 line up and wait.
Japan
wind
Air
is 998 at 1
335.
knots. Japan Air 267.
Ground, 05
Japan Air
pushback
335
approved.
pushback
479er
approved.
heavy.
Japan Air, what is this number? I can't see it.
Japan Air 671
Japan Air
request
335 pushback. Ah, yeah.
Ground,
Japan Air
Starflyer
335 heavy
55
continue
taxi.
taxi.
Continue taxi. Japan Air 335 heavy.
Ground, all Nippon
J Air
321 request
178
pushback.
taxi to terminal via Whiskey.
Taxi to terminal via Whiskey. J Air 178.
Ground, Japan Air 193 request taxi.
Ground, Air 24737 heavy request pushback.
Where's Skymark going
Japan
in?
Air 671
There.
request taxi.
Alpha Mark.
Ground,
Hold on.
Charlie
Skymark
X-ray
116,
767
hold
request
position. Alpha Wing 457, continue taxi.
Tower.
Alpha
only
Wing
on
759,
458
pushback
with runway
approved.
34
Expect
left.
runway 34 right via Charlie. Skymark 117, pushback approved. Expect runway 34 right via Charlie.
Continue taxi.
Japan
Alpha
Air
Wing 457.
267, runway 05, clear for takeoff. Japan Air 267, runway 05, cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 440, runway 34 right, clear to land. Wind is 908 at 1 knots.
Ground, 34 right via Charlie pushback approved. Alpha Wind 759er.
Ground, 34 right via Charlie pushback approved. Skymark 117.
Oh, Skymark didn't even
Runway
stop.
05 cleared for takeoff.
Skymark
Japan Air
27,
267.
pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Romeo 1, Yankee Sierra.
Runway 34 right cleared to land. Wind is 908 at 1 knots. Japan Air 440.
Ground, 05 by Romeo 1 Yankee Sierra pushback approved.
All Nippon
Skymark
458, heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Ground.
All
Japan Air
Nippon
335, heavy
458,
request
taxi to
pushback.
terminal via Alpha.
Ground. All Nippon 479er heavy request
Airdo
pushback.
heavy, no.
Taxi
Airdo
to terminal via Alpha.
4737,
All Nippon
heavy,
458.
continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Air 24737 heavy.
Ground. Alpha Wing 457 request taxi.
Tower, Japan Air 440 with you. Runway 34
J Air
right.
158, runway 34 left, clear to land. Wind is 908 at 1 knots.
Ground, Air 24737 heavy request taxi.
Runway 34
Skymark 117
at 1
is
knots.
moving
JA
out finally.
158.
Okay,
Tower, JA 158 with you. Runway 34 left.
he's moving finally.
Alpha Wind 759er.
Japan Air
request pushback.
465, heavy, contact departure.
Ground.
Japan
all
Air
Nippon
267,
request taxi.
contact departure.
Contact departure.
Japan Air
Required.
22,
Japan
runway
Air
34
465
right, clear to land. Wind is 908 at 1 knots. Japan Air 22, runway 34 right, clear to land. Wow. Japan Air 22, runway 34 right, clear to land. Wind is 908 at 1 knots. Japan Air 151, runway 05, line up and wait. Wind is 908 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening, Japan Air 267.
Charlie X-ray Bravo 767, pushback approved. Expect runway 04.
Runway 05 line up and
November
wind is 908 at 1
319,
knots.
Papa
Japan Air
Papa, pushback
151.
approved. Expect runway 04. Asiana 1035, heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 34 left. Japan Air 652, runway 34 left, no.
Ground,
Japan Air
04
652,
pushback
heavy,
approved. Charlie
runway
X-ray
34 left,
767.
clear to land. Wind is 908 at 1 knots. Japan Air 22, runway 34 right, clear to land.
Ground. 04 pushback approved.
It's
November
not working.
319 Papa Papa.
Ground. 34 left pushback approved. Asiana 1035 heavy.
Unable to comply. Japan Air 652 heavy. Runway 34 left cleared to land. Wind is 908 at
Okay.
1 knots. Japan Air 652 heavy.
Das Aircraft is
again.
not landing.
Japan
Also
Air
diese
22
Maschine will nicht landen.
Tower, Japan
Hier.
Air 22 heavy with you. Runway
Hat
34
keinen
right.
Haken
Going
bekommen
around.
auf der rechten Seite.
Japan
Siehst
Air
du,
22
going
heavy.
around jetzt.
Ground,
Japan
Skymark
Air
117
22,
request pushback.
contact departure.
Ground, Skymark 27 request pushback.
Tower. Japan Air 652 heavy with you. Runway 34
Japan Air
left.
225. Okay.
Ground,
Japan Air
487 request
228,
pushback.
contact departure. Japan Air 228, contact departure.
Ground. November 319 Papa Papa.
Japan Air
request pushback.
22, contact departure.
Ground, Alpha Wind 759er.
Werde
request
jetzt
taxi.
bestraft für eine Maschine, die ich gar nicht anticken
Heavy
konnte.
request pushback.
Tolle Wurst.
Ground, Skymark 27 request
Japan Air
taxi.
440, taxi to terminal via Echo 9er.
Ground. All Nippon 659er heavy.
Skymark
request pushback.
117, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 9er, Japan Air 440.
Skywing 759er, continue taxi.
Continue taxi.
Skymark
Skymark
27,
117.
continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Skymark 27.
JR 158, taxi to terminal via whiskey.
Taxi to terminal via whiskey, JR 158.
Ground. Skymark 117 request taxi.
Tower, all Nippon 670 heavy with you runway 34 right. Ground, Charlie X-ray 767
Alpha
request
Wing
taxi.
117, continue taxi.
Tower, Japan Air 26
Alpha Wing
heavy with
457, runway
left.
34 right, line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Ground. all
Japan Air
Nippon
151,
heavy request pushback.
runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 193, runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 right.
Starflyer 55, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots. Asiana 1035, continue heavy.
Runway 05 cleared for
Asiana
takeoff.
1035, heavy,
151.
continue taxi.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots. Japan Air 193.
Alpha Wing 759, continue taxi.
Runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots. Starflyer 55.
Continue taxi.
Starflyer
Station
457,
1035
runway
heavy.
34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Continue taxi. Alpha Wing 7.
Alpha Wing 457, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Unable to comply. Starflyer 55.
Japan Air 193, runway 05, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 right cleared for takeoff.
Japan Air
Alpha Wing
671, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Starflyer
Japan Air
55,
193.
runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 652, heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha. Golf.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots. Japan Air 671.
Runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff. Starflyer 55.
Starflyer 3889, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha Golf, Japan Air 652
Japan
heavy.
Air 151, contact departure.
Runway 34 left, line up and wait,
November
wind is
319,
907 at
Papa
1
Papa,
knots.
continue
Starflyer
taxi.
3889.
Charlie X-ray Bravo 767, continue taxi.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Japan Air 151.
Alpha Wing 457, contact departure.
Continue taxi.
Japan Air
November
193,
319 Papa Papa.
heavy, contact departure.
Continue taxi.
Japan Air
Charlie X-ray
193, contact departure.
Contact departure.
Japan Air
Good evening. Alpha Wing
26,
457.
heavy, runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 907 at 1 knots. All Nippon 670, runway 34. All Nippon 670, heavy, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 907 at 1 knots. Japan Air 671, runway 05, cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 321, runway 05, runway, what am I saying? All Nippon 321, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening.
Starflyer
Japan Air 193.
55. Okay,
Runway
we got a
34
problem.
left
Starflyer
cleared to land, wind is
3889,
907 at 1
runway
knots.
34
Japan
left,
Air
cleared for
26 heavy.
takeoff. Den habe ich ja ganz vergessen. Das wird
Unable
eng
to
werden.
comply. All Nippon 670 heavy.
Oje, oje.
Runway 34 right cleared to land, wind is 907 at 1 knots. All Nippon 670 heavy. Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 671.
All Nippon 659, heavy pushback approved, expect runway 05.
Unable to comply.
All Nippon 415, heavy
321.
pushback approved, expect runway 05. All Nippon 479, heavy pushback approved, expect runway 05.
Runway 05 line up.
Starflyer
and wait, wind is
55,
907
contact
at 1
departure.
knots. All Nippon 321.
Runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff. Starflyer 3889.
All Nippon 867, heavy pushback approved, expect runway 34 left.
Ground 05
Starflyer
pushback
89,
approved.
pushback
All
approved,
Nippon
expect runway
659
34
heavy.
left via Whiskey.
Ground 05 pushback approved.
Japan
All
Air
Nippon
671,
415
contact departure.
Ground
All Nippon
05
321,
pushback
heavy,
approved.
runway
All Nippon
05, cleared for
479er
takeoff.
heavy.
Contact departure. Good evening. Starflyer 55.
Starflyer 3889, contact departure.
Ground, tree 4 left pushback approved. All Nippon 867 heavy.
Ground
Asiana
34 left via whiskey
1035,
pushback approved.
continue taxi.
Starflyer 89er.
Contact departure. Good evening. Japan Air 671.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
All Nippon
All Nippon
399
321.
heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05. All Nippon 659 heavy continue taxi.
Contact departure.
Skymark
Goodbye.
27 runway
Start
05 line up and wait.
3889.
Wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Say again. Asian 1035 heavy.
Asiana 1035 heavy continue taxi.
Ground 0.
All Nippon 670 heavy taxi to terminal via Echo 9er.
Continue taxi. All Nippon 659 heavy.
Runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 907
Japan
at 1
Air
knots.
Flight 7.
Skymark 27.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 05.
Continue taxi. Asian 1035 heavy.
Skymark 117 runway 34 right line up and wait. Wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 9.
Japan Air
All Nippon
26.
670 heavy.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Ground 05 pushback approved. Japan Air 487.
November 319 Papa runway 04 line up and wait. Wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 right line up and wait. Wind is 907 at 1 knots. Skymark 117.
Runway 04 line up and wait. Wind is 907 at 1 knots. November 319 Papa.
Ground. Asian 1035 heavy request taxi.
New Sky 22 runway 34 left clear to land. Wind is 907 at 1 knots.
Ground. Starflyer
Skymark 27 runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 left.
Skymark 117 runway 34 right
Sky
cleared for
22.
takeoff.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
On
Skymark
Nippon
27.
415 heavy continue taxi.
Runway 34 right cleared for
Japan Air
takeoff.
487
Skymark
heavy continue
117.
taxi.
Continue taxi. All Nippon 415.
On Nippon 867 heavy continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Japan Air 487.
Continue taxi.
Airdo
All Nippon
4737 heavy runway 34 left line up and wait. Wind is 907 at 1 knots. Japan Air 26. Taxi to terminal.
Runway
Japan Air
left line up and
266
wait.
taxi
Wind
to
is
terminal.
907 at 1 knots. Air 24737 heavy.
Okay, I have no idea what
Ground.
this plane
November
is.
319 Papa request taxi.
Der antwortet mir nicht.
Use
All Nippon
Sky 22
321 heavy
runway
contact
34
departure.
Contact departure. Good evening. All Nippon 321.
Skymark 27 contact departure.
Ground. All Nippon 415 heavy request pushback.
Contact departure. Good evening. Skymark
November
27.
319 Papa. No, we're not going to do that.
All Nippon 867 heavy request pushback.
Ground. Juliet Alpha 012 Golf request pushback.
Juliet Alpha 012 Golf pushback approved. Expect runway 04.
Tower. Japan Air 698 with you. Runway 34.
Airdo 4737 heavy runway 34 left cleared for takeoff.
Ground.
Japan
04
Air
pushback
698
approved. Juliet Alpha 012 Golf.
runway 34 left cleared to land. Wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 left cleared for takeoff. Air 24737 heavy.
New Sky 22 taxi to terminal via Whiskey.
Runway 34 left cleared to land. Wind is 906 at 1 knots.
All
Japan
Nippon
Air
399 continue taxi.
Taxi to
All Nippon
terminal via
399
Whiskey,
heavy
Sky
continue
22.
taxi.
Say again. All Nippon
Skymark
399 heavy.
117 contact departure.
Continue taxi.
All Nippon 659
heavy.
runway 05. All Nippon 659 heavy runway 05 line up and wait. Wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening. Skymark 117.
Say again. All Nippon 659 heavy.
Alpha Wing 759 runway 34 right line up and wait. Wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Runway 05
Alpha
line
Wing
up and
759
wait,
runway
line is
34
at 1
right
knots.
cleared for
All
takeoff.
Nippon 659 heavy.
Runway 34 right line up and wait. Wind is 906 at 1 knots. Alpha Wing 759er.
All Nippon 686 runway 34 right.
Runway
All Nippon
24 right
686
cleared for
heavy
takeoff.
runway
Alpha Wing
34 right clear to
759er.
land. Wind is 906 at 1 knots. There comes
Unable
Japan
to
Air
comply.
22
All
again.
Nippon 686 heavy. Runway 34 right cleared to land. Wind is 906 at 1 knots. All Nippon 686 heavy.
All Nippon 389 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Ground. All Nippon 659 heavy request taxi.
Ground. 05 via Yankee Sierra pushback
Diese
approved.
drei hier
All Nippon
bewegen sich
389
überhaupt
heavy.
nicht. Keine Ahnung
All
warum.
Nippon 415 heavy request taxi.
Oh, jetzt haben wir mal eine
All
ganze
Nippon
Menge
686 heavy with
Ankünfte.
runway 34 right.
Ground. All Nippon 867 heavy request taxi.
Ground, Starflyer 89er request taxi.
Tower, Japan Air 22 Heavy with you runway 34 left. Say again, Japan Air 22 Heavy. Ground, all Nippon 389er Heavy request pushback.
Japan Air 22 Heavy, runway 34 left, clear to land.
Ground, Japan Air 487
Ey,
request
jetzt hat's
taxi.
geklappt.
Runway 34
Super.
left cleared to land.
Air
Japan
do 4737
Heavy.
Heavy, contact departure.
Tower, Air do 68 with you runway 34 right.
All Nippon 659er, Heavy, runway 05, cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure. Goodbye.
Japan Air 487.
37 heavy.
Continue taxi.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. All
Air
Nippon
do
659
68,
heavy.
runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Continue taxi, Japan Air 487. Runway 34 right cleared to land, wind is 906 at 1
November
knots.
319er,
Air
Papa
268.
Papa, runway 04 cleared for takeoff.
Tower, Japan Air 296 with you.
Charlie
runway
X-ray
34
Bravo 767, runway 04, line up and wait, wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Runway 04
Juliet
cleared
Alpha
for takeoff.
012
November
Golf, continue
319
taxi.
Papa Papa.
Runway 04 line up and wait wind is 96
Alpha
at
Wing
1 knots.
75
Charlie
and
X-ray
9er, contact
767.
departure. Starflyer 89er, continue taxi.
Continue taxi.
All Nippon
Juliet Alpha 012
389er,
Golf.
heavy, continue taxi. All Nippon 415, heavy, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening.
Starflyer
Alpha 175
89er, runway 05 via Yankee Sierra.
Continue taxi, Starflyer 89er.
Japan Air 296, runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Continue taxi.
All Nippon
389er
659er,
heavy.
heavy, contact departure.
Runway 05 line up and wait wind is 906 at 1 knots. All Nippon 415
Japan Air
heavy.
698, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Runway 05 via Yankee Sierra, Starflyer 89er.
All Nippon 686, heavy, taxi to terminal via Echo 9er, Echo.
Runway 34 left cleared to land, wind is 906 at 1 knots, Japan Air 296.
Contact departure. Good evening. All Nippon 659er heavy.
November 319er, Papa Papa, contact departure.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Japan Air 698.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 9 or Echo.
Charlie
All
X-ray
Nippon
Bravo
686
767, runway 04, cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure. Good evening. November 319 Papa Papa.
Runway 04 cleared for takeoff. Charlie X-ray 767.
All Nippon 415, runway 05.
Cover.
All Nippon
Japan
415 heavy,
with you,
runway
34
05, clear to take off. All Nippon 415 heavy, runway 05, cleared for takeoff.
Unable to comply. All Nippon 415 heavy. Unable to comply. All Nippon 415 heavy. Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. All Nippon 415
Japan Air
heavy.
22 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha. Golf.
Ground, Juliet Alpha 012 Golf request taxi.
Japan Air 134 heavy, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha Golf, Japan Air 22 heavy.
Juliet Alpha 012 Golf, runway 04, line up and wait. Wind is 906 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 right cleared to land, wind is 906 at 1 knots. Japan Air
Asiana
134
1035 heavy, runway 34 left, line up and wait, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Runway 04 line up and wait, wind is 906 at 1 knots. Juliet Alpha 012 Golf.
Also diese drei
Runway
löschen wir
34
mal,
left
weil
line up and
die
wait wind is 905 at 1
gehen
knots.
leider
Asian
nicht.
1035 heavy.
Ground, all Nippon 389er heavy request taxi.
Keiner von denen bewegt sich,
Tower,
dummerweise.
Air 80 with you runway 34 left.
Air do 68, taxi to terminal via Echo 8.
Cover.
Echo Hotel.
Japan
Air do
674
68, taxi to
runway
terminal
34
via
right.
Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Taxi to terminal
Charlie
via
X-ray
Juliet
Bravo
Whiskey, Air
767,
do
contact
68.
departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Charlie X-ray 767.
Tower, all Nippon 79er heavy request pushback.
All Nippon 415 heavy, contact departure.
Tower. Japan Air 328 heavy with you runway 34 left.
Contact departure. Good evening. All Nippon
Japan Air
415
296, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Ground, all Nippon
Asiana
689er request pushback.
1035 heavy, runway 34 left, cleared for takeoff.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Japan Air 296.
Runway 34 left cleared for takeoff. Asian of 1035 heavy.
Japan F487, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Ground, all Nippon 907 heavy, request pushback.
Runway 05, line up and wait,
All
wind is
Nippon
905 at 1 knots.
689er,
Japan Air 487.
pushback approved, expect runway 34 left.
Ground, tree 4 left pushback approved. All Nippon 689er.
All Nippon 907, heavy pushback approved, expect runway 34 right via Charlie.
Tower, all Nippon 854 heavy with you, runway 34 right.
Ground,
Air
tree
to
4
80,
right via Charlie, pushback approved.
runway
All
34
Nippon 907
left.
heavy.
Clear to land, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Runway 34 left clear to land, wind is 905 at 1 knots, air to 80.
Japan F487, runway 05, cleared for takeoff. Japan S674, runway 34 right, clear to land, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Japan Air 487.
Juliet Alpha 012 Golf, runway 04 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 right clear to land, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Asiana
Japan Air 674.
1035, heavy contact departure.
Runway 04 cleared for takeoff. Juliet Alpha 012 Golf.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Asian of
All
1035
Nippon
heavy.
907 heavy contact, continue taxi. All Nippon 907 heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, all Nippon 907 heavy, request taxi.
All Nippon 389, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Unable contact
All Nippon
departure. All Nippon
389
907
heavy, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Continue taxi.
All Nippon
907
689 heavy, continue taxi.
Unable to comply. All Nippon 389er heavy.
Juliet Alpha 012 Golf, contact departure.
Runway 05
Japan
line up and wait, wind is
487,
905
contact
at 1
departure.
knots. All Nippon 389er heavy.
Continue taxi. All Nippon 689.
All Nippon 389 heavy, runway 05, cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure. Good evening. Juliet Alpha 012 Golf.
Japan 328 heavy, runway 34 left, clear to land, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Contact departure. Good evening. Japan Air 487.
Starfly 89, runway 05, line up and wait, wind is 905 at 1 knots.
Runway 05 cleared
Japan
for takeoff.
134
All Nippon 389er
heavy, taxi to terminal via Echo 9er Echo.
Runway 34 left clear to land, wind is 905 at 1 knots. Japan Air 328 heavy.
Runway 05 line up and wait, wind is 905 at 1 knots. Starflyer 89er.
Taxi to terminal via Echo 9er Echo.
So,
Japan
liebe
Air
Leute,
134 heavy.
ich glaube,
All Nippon 409er heavy, request pushback.
Ground, all Nippon 689er, request taxi.
das soll es
Tower,
gewesen sein
Korean
für
Air
heute.
711 heavy with you, runway 34 left.
Ground. Japan Air 531 heavy, request pushback.
So, pausen wir das Ganze mal und schalten das Ganze mal aus. Können wir überhaupt was sehen? Ne, irgendwie können wir gar nichts sehen. Wir müssen die Pause ausmachen. Ne, brauchen wir nicht. Die Pause muss aus. Die Kamera muss aus. Auch nicht. Pause loslassen. Können wir dann machen? Ja, jetzt gehen wir wieder zum Tower zurück. So, und dann haben wir ein bisschen was Besseres uns anzuschauen. So, liebe Leute. Ja, das war jetzt das zweite Mal, wobei ich jetzt versucht habe, mit den neuen Modifikationen klarzukommen. Es fällt mir wahnsinnig schwer. Ich habe jetzt in der Vergangenheit ja so viele Videos rausgebracht, indem ich alte Gewohnheiten so dermaßen in meinem System drinne habe, sodass ich da es sehr, sehr schwer habe, mich jetzt umzugewöhnen. Aber ich glaube, ich brauche noch so 3, 4, 5 Videos und dann wird das auch wesentlich flüssiger laufen. Ich habe bis jetzt noch nicht so richtig das perfekte System herausgefunden. Aber ich werde es herausfinden. Allerdings, ich hoffe, die neuen Modifikationen haben euch gut gefallen. Also wenn man jetzt so dieses anguckt, so mit diesen verschiedenen Farben. Die grünen sind die Ankünfte, die roten sind die weg wollen. Ich glaube, das sieht doch richtig klasse aus, oder? Und dann habt ihr sicherlich vielleicht auch im Hintergrund die Piloten gehört, alle mit verschiedenen Akzenten. Ich finde, das hört sich auch richtig klasse an. Wie gesagt, das mit dem Heavy, da muss ich noch richtig üben dran, aber es ist ja auch gut so, soll ja auch nicht langweilig werden. Man möchte sich ja auch weiterentwickeln und das möchte ich auch sehr gerne. Deshalb, wenn es euch gefallen hat, dann bitte einmal unten rechts aufs Abonnieren drücken. Ihr glaubt gar nicht, wie wichtig es ist für den Kanal. Für euch nur ein kleiner Klick, für mich bedeutet es sehr viel und für den YouTube-Algorithmus noch viel, viel mehr. Das gibt die Möglichkeit, dass der Kanal wachsen kann. Und selbst wenn ihr es euch nie wieder anschauen solltet, trotzdem vielen, vielen Dank, dass ihr zumindest hier einmal dabei gewesen seid. Und für alle, die dies natürlich jetzt schon eine Weile hier gewesen seid, vielen, vielen Dank, dass ihr eingeschaut habt. Gerne unten in den Kommentaren was reinschreiben. Ihr wisst, ich gebe ja euch eine vernünftige Antwort zurück, zumindest mit bestem Wissen und Gehwissen. Also, ja, ich denke mal, wir werden uns nächste Woche Freitag wieder hören. Also bis dahin, vielen, vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen. Hier war eine weitere Präsentation von TP Gaming. Ich wünsche euch alles Gute, bleibt gesund. Bis bald. Ciao.